Hey everybody, so I'm doing a second post today because I just had to talk about Punja. I'm assuming it's Punja because it's a Hawaiian word, but they put out a couple of things to be clear, but they recently, at least the Patreon stuff that they're doing, is fantasy football type characters for like Blood Bowl or I'm assuming I've never played Guild Ball or anything like that, but I'm assuming they're characters that could be done. But they're really for Blood Bowl. I mean, it's pretty clear that they're for Blood Bowl. And I just thought I'd go over them because they're really nice. And as a guy who builds armies and I love to find proxies for things and make armies that could be really boring and unique, Punja is awesome. And they also go beyond just the Patreon situation where you can get some of their stuff off of My Mini Factory and things like that. So let's look at their newest set. It was a two-parter, so I'm actually going to be doing what was March and then what's coming out in April. But it's awesome. I'm definitely picking them up because I could use them. So let me just blow this up. So they've got a dwarf team coming out that again all set up scaled for Blood Bowl, and this is a group shot of it. But these are the ones that are out. I'm assuming now in March, and then we'll get to the preview of the ones coming out for April. But these are great. So this is awesome. It really clean, lots of character. You've probably heard me before talk about things that are too caricatured or something that's being hyper real. These guys really get the aesthetical vibe of Blood Bowl, where it's comical, but it's not cartoony fake. But it's cheeky. It's not meant to be super serious. But because of that, and because they're dwarves, it's solid. Their treatment, though, of things that are metallic, like what you're seeing here, is really on point. Also, their modeling skills are fantastic. They're really, really good. So this is great. This is this is one of the bigger bully type pieces that they would have. You're able to have special characters in the game, so this is one of those. It's a larger one. But these are just so awesome because they're all made for Blood Bowl, so they're all a smaller base size, but they'll fit into a regular army, and they're all these custom poses with different attitudes, different looks and feels, and they could be special characters, they could be ambiance, but they really would fit in well with a dispossessed dwarven army of any sort. They could be side characters in a Caradron army. They could be actual like part of a Cities of Sigmar army. They're really cool looking. From the ornamentation on the belt buckles, the stuff with the beer, this kind of situation going on with the tap on his back. That is, and the modeling is fantastic. I don't know. I don't view Blood Bowl or the fantasy football games as like needing to have really highly detailed models. That's probably wrong of me to think that way because I think of it as just kind of a fun side game. These are really well crafted, really well crafted. These are more on the nose for football because they're actually holding footballs. But look at the artwork. Look at the detailing here in this part. Look at the beard. I mean, this is a stylistic beard that you would expect for a dwarf army, right? This beard here has a lot of character. It really, really screams. And it's such a big contrast to the materials around it. It's really pops off the page. There's nothing wrong with this beard. It's just more of what you would expect from a 32 millimeter dwarf, right? But great look, lots of motion. This beard flows with the contrapposto going on with the body. This one's more of a stoic pose. But those are both great. This is awesome. I have to get it just for this. I mean, how do you not have this guy printed out for your Caradron army as just a guy who hangs out near the docks? Awesome. It just great work. The way that the belt works behind the beard, the parrot. I mean, it's all the tacky stereotype captain pirate kind of feels, but it captures it and kind of condenses it and homogenizes it into this character very well. That's I want that model right there. This is great for like a berserker. It's a little different. I could see you having this as like a Cities of Sigmar special character for like a Fire Slayer. I mean, because it has the look of a Fire Slayer, the three beards, the mohawk. It's got all that going on. It's got the cool striped pants, which you would expect. But this is really great stuff. God, I want this army. I want this team as an army. This one doesn't. I mean, this one's funny, if you ask me, and I think that that's the point. Is that it's supposed to be tongue in cheek funny. I would definitely make this if it came with the batch. I don't know if I would go out of my way to buy it, but it's and I would not be able to resist from just blatantly painting him up as Aquaman. But that's still a fun model, if nothing else. This is awesome. I mean, how do you, even if you couldn't use it in the game, how do you not print this just to have it on the board for fun? But I would kit bash it to put Caradron balloons on it and use it as a gunship of some sort. That is really nice. The other thing you could do, I don't know what the scale is for it, but use it as a proxy for steam tanks. That's a cool looking model. I really like that. So that's the first one. Now hold on, I'm going to scan up the page here. They have a pre-release preview of the second part, and I just want to. Now I don't have one for each of these guys, but this is just as awesome because you have all the elements here to flush out at least decorating a Dwarden army in general, because you have another berserker type, which could run as a more of a natural berserker, right? You have a guy who could be a drake, right, which is the shooting unit. And again, does that mean you print out 10 of those and make it your Iron Drakes? No, but I mean, having him as a special character just to stick out a little bit and give a little bit of character to your models, it'd be totally worth buying this. Totally worth it. But that guy's great. You also have the chef, which I think is awesome. I would just get that. So this guy with the little bomb, in several units, and I forget which ones. I think it's the Iron Breakers, maybe. I think it's more than one of the dispossessed units. They have the option to throw a grenade. Having one or two of these in your unit would be awesome to just, yep, that's the guy who throws a grenade. A lot of character. I mean, these guys, I don't know if they did it on purpose. I think I kind of feel like they did because these guys fit so perfectly. But a lot of these, they're made to augment your army if you're a dwarf player. I love this guy. I would put him on one of the boats for the Caradron, like as a guy who jumps over the side. This guy here is awesome. I mean, I would put him in with Iron Breakers. Some of these guys could be Longbeards. This guy could be maybe a proxy for like a Rune Lord. I think that someone may look at that and be like, well, that's obvious. To me, he feels too much like a wizard and less like a Rune Lord. But, I mean, you could do it, These are awesome. These are really awesome. I don't know how you get around not wanting to have these. I got to say, from an artsy fartsy perspective, this here is great because this to me, all I can see is like a lobster tail. So the guy looks even more piratey because his face looks like a lobster tail. And this guy's the same way, you know. So I don't know if that was intentional, but that looks really cool. The beards in general have a lot of character, a lot more character than you would expect. I mean, they really treated the beards as part of the outfit, which is really what you should do with these guys. It's definitely part of the shtick. But anyways, I wanted to bring these guys up. The Patreon that they have is clearly for fantasy football type teams. They made an awesome one in the past also that was Pie Rats. And those are awesome. I have a son who plays Skaven, so those are great for like making special characters and stuff. It makes your army so much more fun to put it on the table, and people are like, what's that? They know most of the units that you have, and then they see that one character like, what's that, right? That stuff is just worth, I think, a Patreon that's, I think this is $10 a month. Totally worth the money, even if you don't play the fantasy football games. I think it's totally worth the money. So I'm signing up for this. Anyways, I don't know how you get a better review than that. But Punga Miniatures, really great stuff. They're one of the few sites that actually has a real website. So go check them out. pungaminiatures.com. They're really great. They're on My Mini Factory. They have the Patreon going on, and they have a real website. I mean, I don't know how you lose. Go check them out. Thanks.